In politics, you're either on message or you are losing. Let's get to it. Welcome to On Message, a weekly look at where the battle lines are drawn and who is winning the war of words. This week, check the numbers. Following his defeat in the 2020 presidential campaign, former President Donald Trump began a blatant attempt to undermine confidence in the election and led an effort to overturn the results, leading to the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Where calls for recounts or election audits were granted, namely Maricopa County, Arizona, things didn't exactly work out well for President Trump and his supporters, as his margin of defeat actually increased by 261 votes. And while some states were rushed into changes to their voting procedures in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, Utah had a relatively smooth sailing, as vote by mail has been the norm here for several cycles. Still, some kept the drumbeat alive as best they could, though their effort will mostly be remembered for having driven Representative Steve Christiansen to resign his position in the House. All that brings us to an interesting messaging dynamic in this whole effort. One side says the election was flawed, and the other side says it was just fine. And the fact is, there are in fact numerous safeguards in place to prevent voter or election fraud. So policymakers are left with a bit of a predicament. How do we work to do the necessary measures to ensure our elections are secure going forward? And how do we enhance those security measures to ensure voters can be confident the will of the people aligns with the final vote tabulations? Now, on Wednesday, new House Majority Leader Mike Schultz issued a press release calling for an audit of election process, saying, quote, "Audits are a routine process in both government and private entities that provide insight, direction, and security." And he went on to say that the audit is intended to assess the integrity and accuracy of voter rolls, the legitimacy and security of submitted ballots, and the systems and processes within election offices. In other words, this isn't a recount of the 2020 election 2 years on. Rather, it's an effort to review our process and look for ways to make it even better. Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, the state's top election official, says she's confident in the integrity of our elections and says she's been looking for ways to further enhance Utah's election security already. That's great. Wonderful. It's also a great example of two government entities working together to triangulate the messaging on an issue. Now, on the far right, of course, there are people sowing doubts about the election integrity. And on the left, there are people casting aspersion on the sanity of the people on the far right. And in the middle are most people who believe our elections are secure, but think it can't hurt to continue to innovate and address any weaknesses in our current system. The Lieutenant Governor and the House Majority Leader are both on the right message point here. The right, or far right, can see that we're looking to make elections secure. The left can see that we're trying not to rehash the 2020 election. And the important work of ensuring a secure election system we can all trust can get done at the same time. I think it's a winning message for the broad audience it needs to impact most. That's it for this week. I'd love to hear what you think. Have your say in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel on YouTube as well. You can also reach out to me via social media platform of your choice. As always, you can find more on-message videos, in-depth Utah political stories and analysis, plus podcasts and more at utahpoliticalunderground.com.